What was I talking about? Oh wow, I did a lot of talking just now. Hello, if you do not know who I am, I'm Tia and I make thrifted Ren Faire content. So I asked you guys here and on Instagram to ask me some questions because I wanted to do a Q&A. I was just gonna do one for fun, but then I realized that there was something worth celebrating. I just hit 17,000 subscribers. I just wanted to take a quick moment to say thank you everyone who is subscribed to me. I love you guys so much. I never thought I would get to where I am on YouTube, much less this fast. It's been crazy and I'm so very thankful for it. So the reason that I'm doing this Q&A is because I want to connect with you guys. I want you guys to feel like you're close to me and stuff. Is that weird? I don't know. Maybe that's just creepy, actually. So I asked you guys to ask me questions, whether it's about my content, about Ren Faire in general, about thrifting, or just a random fact about me. I had to write them down because I'm currently filming on my phone because the camera situation is we're working on it. Curb the Beans says, were you always interested in Renaissance D&D things, or did something happen that sparked your interest? So I'm going to talk about both of those separately because they happen at separate times. With the Renaissance stuff, pretty much always interested in that from a very, very young age. And then the D&D stuff, that actually happened about a year ago. I had always known about D&D, but I didn't exactly know what it was. I had never played it, but this year I actually ended up finding a friend group who was interested in playing it with me. I'm still very new to it and still learning how to play it, but yeah, so D&D happened this year and Renaissance has always been a thing. Favorite costume I've had or made for Ren Faire. Favorite costume that I have made is probably my moth costume that I made for Colorado. I wasn't expecting it to come out that great because it was last minute, but a lot of people on the internet seem to love it, so I love that. I love that you guys loved it. What is your favorite thrift find to date? That's honestly hard because I have so many. I have to really think about this. I mean, I think I have a few of them. This corset, for one, I found this, well, okay, I didn't find this at a thrift store, but I found this online thrifting on an app called Teleport that I was working with for a little bit. I actually bought it to resell, but I ended up loving it so much that I've kept it and it is now falling apart now. That's how much I've worn it. I think I have to give favorite to this one. The wizard cloak that I thrifted. I think that one sticks out as something that was really one of my favorite things that I've thrifted. That one was really cool because I actually had somebody see it in my video and then say, hey, that's really cool. Can you do a wizard look? And then I was like, oh crap, I didn't buy it. So I went back to the thrift store and it was still there and I was able to buy it and then that person actually bought it. So that was really cool. I thrifted some flower crowns and I was like very ecstatic about that. So I think that would be my two favorites, either the wizard cloak or the flower crowns. Do you have a favorite tree? Everyone who knows me in real life knows I kind of have a thing for trees. Like I am a spider monkey. I will climb every tree. My favorite tree is any tree that I can climb. But no, actually, I do actually have an answer to this question though. My favorite tree has to be either palm trees or cedar trees, which ironically is like 2 different seasons. So I guess really it just depends on what time of the year it is. Currently trying not to die because I'm getting over a cold that I got at the market that I was selling at last weekend. So that's fun. So I have 2 questions here that are kind of similar. What got you into Ren Faire and what started your love for Ren Faire, which are kind of the same question, but I'm going to answer them differently. What got you into Ren Faire? That would be my dad. My parents took me to Ren Faire when I was a wee lass. My brother and I would dress up as Link and Zelda. Took us out a few times and we loved it, but of course like we were kids and like couldn't enjoy like everything that Ren Faire had to offer. We would get really tired very quickly. I had been going to Ren Faire ever since I was little, so it was just kind of you know what we do. But then when I actually got older and was able to enjoy going for a full day without, you know, getting tired, that's when I started really loving it. So that's what got me into it. Now I'm going to answer what started my love for it. Probably when I put together my first outfit by myself. Me and my family went to Earthbound and we were looking in the clearance section and we were just finding all of this really cool stuff that we were like, we could totally wear this to the Ren Fair. And we went home and we were putting our outfits together and I had no idea what to wear, but I had like all these different options that I could like piece together, and then it finally came together and it was so much fun, and that's when it really started. Just kind of kept going from there. Claire Ordinaire asks, what is my favorite character that I have played? I would say my warrior fairy that I did at Sherwood early this year because she's got a little bit of an attitude.
You and me, right now, we're having it out. Let's go. Come on, come on.
What is your favorite D&D moment, Ren Faire, thing you bought at fair? Favorite D&D moment. We haven't been playing that long. This was like literally like right at the beginning, but it was my favorite. So keep in mind, I haven't played D&D for very long. I'm still learning. We had just started the campaign and the DM was like, okay, everybody, like, you're meeting for the first time. Like, what do you do? What do you say? Like, this is your first meeting. And it was kind of silent. And then out of nowhere, my wood elf says, "Sup, bitches?" And everybody just kind of stopped and like looked, and the DM was like, that's how you want to start the game? That's the first thing that you've said like in game. And I was like, oh really? I guess that's how we're starting the game. Favorite memory at Ren Faire? I have a lot of those. I think one that stuck out a lot was actually at a very, very small Ren Faire. It was their first year as a Ren Faire. It was the end of the night, it was dark, they had a bonfire going and music playing, and everyone got up and started dancing in a circle. That's my favorite thing to do at Ren Faire. I just want to dance around, and that's the first time that I ever got to do that at Ren Faire. I didn't know anybody there, put out a hand and said, come on. That's why I love Ren Faire so much, is because you could be complete strangers, but you all have one very big thing in common, and that is you're all here to have a good time. Favorite thing that I bought at Ren Faire. I buy a lot of things at Ren Faire, but favorite thing that I bought at Ren Faire, this guy right here. This is my pauldron. Of course the arm bracers too, that kind of goes along with it. I bought them at the same time at the same shop. The pauldron, definitely, it has my heart. Favorite purchase that I've ever bought. As a YouTuber, have you ever had comments that make you uncomfortable? How do you deal with that? Boy, have I. Well, normally I go get a bottle of rum and go sit in the shower and just kind of let the water run while I'm totally joking. I have definitely had a lot of people say mean things on TikTok and on YouTube. The way that I deal with that is I just remember that you have to be doing pretty bad in life to say something mean to a complete stranger on the internet who's just having fun and enjoying themselves. So I really just kind of feel bad for the people that make those comments, and I just tell myself, like, they don't know me. I have nothing to prove to them. I'm happy and I'm content doing what I do. What words, they're just words. They can't hurt me. And I just don't let it affect me. There have been times where it would be something that's kind of personal and it does kind of hit home a little bit. If it gets to a point where it's actually affecting me, remove, block, move on. That was a good question. Since it got a little deep, let's bring it back up. How many weapons do you have? I'm so glad you asked. Can I show this on YouTube actually? Is this okay? They're not real. Right over here on the wall, but I'm not gonna move the camera because I don't want to mess it up. But they're over here. 1, 2, this one's obviously fake. Everyone recognizes this sword from Spirit Halloween. Also from Spirit Halloween, but I really like this one. This one's actually kind of real. Did you mean how many like Ren Faire fantasy weapons do I have, or like all of them? No, I think I need to commit. I'm gonna go get them. Oh! Forgot this little guy. One of these days I will buy an actual real sword when I stop spending money on armor. What would you change about thrift stores if you were in charge? Well, definitely the price is one thing, because that's gotten outrageous, but I don't think that that's something that I would be able to change. But I would probably change the quality of stuff that is put out. Some of it's gross. And I think it should be washed first. What is your next big goal aside from getting more subscribers? I have already achieved so many of my goals in the past year and a half. I'm astounded by it all. I also want to say that it's not really my goal to get more subscribers. My goal is to have subscribers that enjoy my content and engage in my content. But my next big goal would be to get better at long form videos and actually start using my camera, because I do actually have a DSLR camera. It's just that I don't have a laptop currently that is working properly that I can edit on. So that's why I use my phone. What made you decide to be a Ren vendor? I haven't actually vended at a Ren Faire before. I just vend Ren Faire stuff at flea markets. Basically, when I had started making my content, it was just how to put together Ren Faire outfits at the thrift store. And there was this one skirt in this one video that somebody really liked, and I bought it because it was a really cute skirt. And did I need it? No. But it was cute and I wanted it. So I made an impulse purchase. But somebody commented and really liked this skirt and said, oh my god, like this is like the style that I've been trying to get into but I can't find it, and like it's expensive. And I just commented back and I was like, well, hey, I don't need it. Do you want it? I told her what size it was and she said, oh my god, yes, that's perfect. She was really excited about it. So I was like, oh my god, I'm excited for you to have it now. So she bought it from me, and from there it just kind of clicked. It was like, there's a lot of people that like want the type of Ren Faire stuff that I'm finding, but like they don't find it at their thrift stores. And I was like, I could, you know, help people out with the stuff that I find. Ow. Then I just kind of slowly started like posting my thrift finds on Poshmark. It was doing pretty well and people were actually buying them. And then I started doing custom outfits. I had a lot of friends telling me like, you should try vending, and I was like, I don't know, that's kind of scary. I did have some friends that were also in vending, but they did like vintage booths instead of, you know, obviously Ren Faire stuff. So I was like, what the heck, I'm gonna give it a try. The short answer is I started selling piece by piece on Poshmark, and then eventually got so many pieces that I decided to do it in person. Ever dabbled in fantasy games, Skyrim, Warcraft, Elden Ring, etc.? Yes, I'm currently playing Skyrim. I don't know if I would use the term playing it because I haven't played it in a while. It's really hard for me to stay focused on things like that. I also just started playing Baldur's Gate 3. I'm not much of a gaming person, but I grew up playing Legend of Zelda. I played Baldur's Gate on PlayStation 2. I don't even know how many years ago. Actually, I'm gonna go get it right now. Boom! I played the beginning of this one like 50,000 times because I would be like, I'd play it and I'd be like, I haven't played this in a while, and then I forgot where I was, so I'd start over, and then I would not play for a while, and then I'd be like, oh, I need to play this again, and I'd start over because I didn't remember where I was. When Baldur's Gate 3 came out, I was like, wait, Baldur's Gate? Like, I didn't know people knew about that.
I was playing Baldur's Gate before, it was cool.
Anyways, I do be dabbling. I be dabbling sometimes. Most meaningful Ren Faire memory or experience. Most meaningful has to be when I met my friend Pamela. She followed me on TikTok and she works at TRF and said that I should come and say hi. So I did. That was one of the very first times that I met someone from my content. It was a very cool moment for me. I almost started crying. So she sent me a picture of her so that I would know what she looked like, and I went to where she works and I was looking at the picture and I was looking at the bar. I was really awkward. I was like, I don't know, like, do I just like walk up to her? Like, hey, I'm that weird girl from TikTok. So I walked up to the bar that she was working at. She turns and she goes, what can I get? Oh my god! She ran around to the bar and she's like, let me hug you. And she came and gave me a hug. And I was so excited and happy in that moment. The thing that really stuck out and meant something to me is that she told me that I am as genuine in person as I am in my videos, and I'm getting emotional. That is my most meaningful experience at Ren Faire. Since then, she has been a very huge supporter of mine. I've only met her twice in person, but I feel like she's like family to me. She just recently beat Cancer, and I'm so proud of her for that, and I can't wait to see her next month at TRF. I'm so proud of her. Second time it got kind of deep up in here. Faye Guy Muse says, any favorite fairy tale, book, movie, game? Lord of the Rings, and Lord of the Rings next. Just kidding. I'm not sure if you meant like fairy tale as in fantasy, like the same thing, or if you meant like fairy tale as in like old fairy tales. If you're talking about like old fairy tales, my favorite is Little Red Riding Hood. I don't know why. Talking about actual fantasy, I'm assuming that you mean fantasy. So my favorite fantasy book, Wicked Lovely. And I don't understand why it doesn't have more hype, honestly, because I think it's a great book. Movie, obviously Lord of the Rings. Game, if anybody has ever heard of Gauntlet, like the old arcade game, like the Midway games, that is still one of my favorite games ever. Dark Legacy on the GameCube. Or in the arcade, if I'm in an arcade. When did I first get into dressing up? As long as I've been wearing clothes. I used to be in dance when I was like 2. So I've always had like costumes around me, and like obviously Halloween. Halloween was always my favorite holiday. You can't tell. As long as I could like walk, I've been into dressing up. I think that's all of the questions. I have a feeling that I did more like, I hope I answered the questions, because I do get distracted a lot and I start talking and rambling. That's the word I was looking for. If you have any questions from watching this video and you'd like me to do another Q&A at some point in the near future, you can feel free to ask me questions anytime. So thank you for watching my video, and don't forget to go follow me on Instagram and on TikTok, where I post daily. This week I'm going to be working on posting more stuff on Poshmark, so if you want to shop my Ren Faire closet, go check that out. All that stuff is linked in my bio. I will see you in my next video.